Alright, look. As much as I like to dunk on Bungie every once in a while, today it is the community's turn. Really getting tired of seeing these terrible takes about game engines, Destiny 3, Destiny Content Vault, all this stuff. I don't know why it's coming back up again. So, I just want to drop some quick thoughts on some of these takes going forward, so that way when people ask me in the stream what do I think of all these things, I'm just going to point you to this video. Before we begin, I want to make some things really clear, because I know some of y'all are going to look for ways to twist what I'm saying to fit whatever you want to think. I'm not speaking on Bungie's behalf. I don't know anything that goes on inside their studio. All of this is pure speculation. Probably should be completely ignored to begin with. Now, this video is not excusing Bungie from all of the recent server stability issues, as people absolutely have a right to be annoyed about all of the problems lately. I know I am, to a degree. And given all the issues as of late, it would be nice if Bungie gave us a little update as to why there have been so many issues, or at least more than normal. There's been a big drop in confidence in server stability, and while it hasn't affected me too greatly, it definitely has affected other people to some varying degree. And all of the issues people are having are 100% valid. All the bugs in the game, broken stuff, server issues, extended maintenance, blah, blah, blah. It's annoying. You have the right to be mad about those things. That is not what this video is about. It is no secret that Destiny 2 has had a lot of stability issues as of the past couple of months. Extended maintenance, we had a rollback for the first time in a while, server errors, servers coming down. Things are not as smooth as they have historically been. Is the game down every single day? No. Are things noticeably less stable than usual? Yes. Is that annoying? Yes. I don't like seeing the game have to shut down every other week for extended maintenance. It's not a good look. But I'm not out here thinking that Bungie isn't trying to do something about it either. It sucks, but this is one section of the game that the community has zero recourse in. There is no feedback to give other than, please fix the servers. So I'm sure they're doing what they can to fix it. You can both be annoyed that the servers and stability has been bad as of late, but also realize that the solution isn't as simple as switch game engines, which has been my least favorite conversation of 2023 so far. This has pushed everyone straight to the game engine bad, we need a new engine, spaghetti code takes, and I'm here to tell you that your takes are bad. Let's talk about Destiny's engine. Actually, let's not, because you don't know a damn thing about it. Neither do I. But you know what I did? I talked to some people who know some stuff about game engines, servers, things like that. I'm not an expert in game engines or development, so if I'm getting some stuff wrong, other engineers or developers, programmers, I apologize. But I'm also willing to bet that I've learned a lot more about game engines in one 45-minute conversation than the average complainer on social media pretending they know anything about how a game engine works in their entire life. So let's start with some engine talk. The biggest piece of feedback from part of the community being, Destiny needs a new engine. Newsflash! You cannot just save Destiny 2 as a .engine file, throw it into another engine, and have it work. Will some bare bones things be able to be read? Texture files, audio files? Sure. But Destiny is such a complex game that in order to put it on a new engine, it would take years of configuration to do. In the same way that building a completely new engine takes years to do. Years. It takes years to build a new game engine. I really don't think people realize the work that is required to build and then maintain a game engine. Let's give a real basic example. Unreal Engine by Epic Games. Unreal Engine 4, when did that come out? March 2014. Unreal Engine 5, when did it come out? 8 years later. April 2022. And Unreal has a huge company behind it, only working on the engine. Yeah, there's people working on Fortnite, but a lot of people maintaining that engine, I imagine, because it's a commercial engine. And guess what? People want to complain about Destiny code having legacy bits of code in it from Halo. You think Unreal doesn't have old code from Unreal Tournament because it just still works? You think Valve games don't have CS 1.0 code in them? Do you think people are going to replace this code, this old code, if it's still working properly? Probably not. They're probably only going to touch it if it needs to be adjusted in some way, because for all they know, moving one piece of legacy code can break the entire thing. Why take the risk unless you have to? A lot of problems that people have right now regarding connections, latency, lag, those are not even engine issues in the first place. Those are server issues. Most things dealing with connections are probably server problems. You got a laggy finisher because you're playing with someone across the globe? Probably a server issue. You got a laggy opponent in Crucible? Probably a server issue. These are not, and probably have nothing to do with the game's engine. Extended server maintenance. The game you receive and play on is vastly different to the thing your computer connects and talks to. The server is networking code and databases. The engine doesn't share that much in common, other than probably the networking code that crosstalks between the two. I've barely just hit any technical jargon, and I can already feel half of you leaving this video from boredom. You wonder why the public doesn't watch GDC presentations. Nah, but, okay, let's say Bungie makes the call. Hey, community, you're right, we're gonna go to a new engine. There's plenty of engines out there. You got Unreal, Godot, Unity, CryEngine, take your pick. So step number one, somehow completely recombobulate one of these commercial engines into something that could handle Destiny in the same way Bungie's current engine handles Destiny. We're talking years of work to make that happen, as we previously established, and Bungie would have to do so much work to one of these engines that it barely looks like the engine they even started with. This is in comparison to when Bungie upgraded their own internal engine back with Beyond Light, also a lot of work, but at least they're still on their own systems to some degree. Let's give a real-world analogy. It's like trying to fix up an old car. Probably got an oil change to do. Maybe the alternator isn't working properly. You get a new one. The brake pads get swapped out. That's what Bungie did to their game engine in Beyond Light. Now let's say Bungie switches game engines from their internal thing to Unreal. The real-world analogy for that would be taking that old car, ripping the engine out of that car, and trying to install it on a motorcycle. Could you do it? Probably. Is it a smart idea? Probably not. Is the motorcycle still even a motorcycle anymore? Who knows for sure. Also, switching engines is not just a clean slate wipe of all the problems a game might have. If anything, you introduce brand new problems that you maybe didn't even have before because this new engine doesn't do a thing that the previous one used to do. So let's say now it's years down the road, Bungie has somehow reconfigured Destiny into a completely new engine, which is a massive undertaking in itself, probably leading to delayed releases of new content. If they are working on an engine outside of their ownership, multiple things happen. Number one, royalties. Bungie has to pay royalties to whatever company owns the engine. They probably don't want to do that. Number two, everyone would also need to completely relearn how to build the game on this new engine. That takes a lot of time to do and would probably be very expensive. Number three, because Bungie is no longer in control of their engine, any new potential problems that would occur within the engine take even longer to fix. If there is an issue with the engine itself, then Bungie would need to contact the engine developer to get them to fix the engine, which could take an hour, a day, a week, a month, several months. Who knows how much time to fix it? What if it's a really serious problem? The game just goes down for an unknown amount of time? Compared to Bungie having their own engine and their own engineers being able to more readily solve their problems because it's their engine. Going from Bungie Engine 4 to Bungie Engine 5 is much more manageable than going from Bungie Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5. All of these engines are completely different, to the point where you might as well be rebuilding the game, which I will again remind you takes years for AAA games, and Destiny is probably one of the most complex AAA games on the market today. Probably the only thing that engines have in common is that they're used to make video games. Something that Unreal might do really well, Unity can't do really well, etc., etc. This is why people look stupid when they say, oh, just switch engines, just upgrade your engine. Because you don't know the work involved in doing so. You don't know the time investment, the money investment that it would take. You don't sound smart bringing up game engines. You sound like you don't know what you're talking about. Here's the funny thing too. Bungie already settled this engine debate years ago. Quote, I certainly would not classify the Destiny engine as archaic, and I certainly wouldn't want to try to build Destiny in any other engine. Of course, there are processes that are slow, and we're making improvements to address our tech debt. Not totally sure what you mean about a new engine in future titles, but we updated the engine from D1 to D2 and continue to update the engine during D2 development. We will never make a whole new engine and move Destiny to it, but any future games that Bungie makes wouldn't necessarily need to use the Destiny tech if it doesn't make sense for that game, end quote. Who said this? Oh, just some guy, the head of engineering at Bungie at the time, David Aldridge. No big deal, link in the description. Bungie originally thought that D2 would look like D1. A couple of expansions and then another sequel. They've since massively shifted gears and thus have had to make upgrades and adjustments to their own engine to be able to support the game that we know today. They had a plan, the plan changed, they had to pivot and make changes. So many things in the game today would likely not be possible without Bungie already making a ton of upgrades to their engine. Like what, Datto? An example straight from the horse's mouth, September 24th, 2020, quote, one other cool new feature in this area is face-to-face joins in social spaces, so you can now fire team up with tower friends without a long tower reload, end quote. Things we take for granted right now were possible because Bungie continues to upgrade their engine, quote, in the description. You still want to complain? Complain. I encourage it. But here's how to complain properly. Ready? Step number 1, stop being an asshole on Twitter. Step 2, be productive. You find a bug, maybe you record it, or you write it down, you submit a report on Bungie's website, you try to reproduce it. Step 3, don't suggest fixes. You, as the player, are not the problem solver. You are the problem reporter. You are the problem revealer. Bungie will handle the fix. They don't need your stupid ass suggestions on how to fix them because chances are the fix is something you probably can't even fathom. If there's one thing I've learned from game devs, it's that they want your problems, not your solutions. And when it comes to bugs and glitches, that is probably doubly so. It might be fun to come up with solutions to certain things. Bungie is under no obligation to use those solutions for any number of reasons, like it doesn't work, your idea sucks, etc. But also know that the issues that the game is having right now, you have almost zero agency in. Game-wide server issues, you have no recourse. Extended server maintenance, bugs, it's entirely up to Bungie to fix. There's no game designing your way out of extended maintenance multiple times per month. If you don't like it, what's your recourse? Wait. You wait for them to fix it. Harsh truth? Probably. But that's all you got. You sit down and you wait, or you whine on social media and say you're going to boycott the game, and then you log on 2 days later. This has sort of linked up with more discussions of the DCV, the Destiny Content Vault, for those not familiar. Bungie has had to remove chunks of the game in order to improve the stability of the game and make the dev process a bit easier on themselves. Think of the stability of the game if Bungie had removed nothing from the game, and we're constantly having to go back and fix legacy things caused by legacy content still being in the game. Y'all, I'm with you. I wish we had everything still in the game, despite the fact that I would probably play almost none of it, much like most of you. Maybe the raids. That's about it. And don't you think that if Bungie could keep all that stuff in the game, that they would? Don't you think that after all of the complaints, all of the feedback, that Bungie would eventually relent and put all the stuff back in the game? Wouldn't that be the easiest win in the world for them? And yet nothing happens. Nothing. Why? Because it's probably not possible for them to do it without significantly hampering the game's status. The game was already over 100 gigs in Beyond Light. They brought it down to around 60 gigs. Imagine the file size of the game today if nothing was removed on top of everything we've gotten so far. Imagine the issues we may be having. No, I don't know why Call of Duty gets to be over 200 gigs or whatever it is. The devs can probably imagine the issues. I can't. You think having all that extra bulk would be doing the game any favors? I'm gonna guess probably not. And the bulk of the game back then included content that barely anyone was even playing. Bungie said that the Warmind campaign Season 3 was 5% of the game's total size, yet only represented 0.3% of all play during Season 10. And yeah, I'm with you. New player experience. It would be great for all of those older bits of content to still be in the game so that the new player experience, at least maybe story-wise, isn't so disjointed. I would love for those pieces of content to still be in the game. I know, the new player experience, still not good. I hear about it every damn day. But people ain't happy with the state of the game on the technical side right now. How do you think they'd feel with the game doubled in size, constantly getting bugged out because we have to keep the Red War in the game? Now, sometime later in the Lightfall era, Bungie will be bringing back old exotic missions on a weekly rotator. Those missions include everything after Season 13. They don't include Whisper of the Worm or Outbreak Perfected. When did those come out? Before Beyond Light. Do I think that there is a link there related to content pre-Beyond Light and post-Beyond Light with regards to the engine? Absolutely I do. Do I think the engine upgrade potentially messed with older bits of content? Yes, I do. So it would not surprise me if Bungie had to do a significant amount of work to bring back some of these older pieces of content exactly as they were pre-Beyond Light engine upgrade. And if I ask you, do you want Bungie to spend time working on bringing back older content, or do you want them to spend that time making new content? I feel like I know the answer. And I know I'm gonna get the inevitable, well, if other MMOs can hold all of their content, why can't Destiny? Because they're not built the same way as Destiny. How are they built? I don't know. Ask someone at Blizzard or Square or Riot in 2032 when their MMO comes out. But if you think that Destiny should be able to handle their game in the same way that WoW does because they're vaguely within the same genre, I don't know what to tell you, both figuratively and literally. I wish I did. I wish I had the knowledge to bestow upon you, but I do not, as I am just some dingus YouTuber who talks about boss strategies and weapon rolls in a video, not anything actually important. Next, let's talk Destiny 3 again. I made a video about Destiny 3 3 years ago about how I thought it wasn't going to happen, and amazingly, it still holds up. But the main point I'm going to reiterate is the following. Anything that Bungie could do for Destiny 3 can just as easily be put into Destiny 2. No, Bungie is not just going to whip out a new engine for Destiny 3 if they ever make it. We just covered that. They are going to use very similar architecture for Destiny 3 if they ever make it, so let's just get that out of the way right now. Destiny 3 will also not be the solution to all of the issues in the game. All y'all out here talking, oh, game is spaghetti code. Guess what? They'd use a bunch of stuff from Destiny 2 and Destiny 3 anyway, and that probably includes a good chunk of code. In that past video, I said that it would take Bungie 1.5 years to crank out a Destiny 3 if they dropped all support for Destiny 2. That 1.5 years was crazy optimistic and is probably more like 2.5 to 3 years minimum. Overwatch players, back me up on this one. You remember how Blizzard more or less dropped support of Overwatch 1 to make Overwatch 2? and then only put out like half the game. Yeah, picture that, but for Destiny. So no, I don't think there is a secret Bungie cabal that has been working for the past couple of years now on a secret Destiny 3 launch coming in 2025. And I would love to be proven wrong here, because the concept of a Destiny 3 still absolutely sounds appealing to me. For those that don't remember the transition from D1 to D2, people lost their ever-loving minds at the fact that we would be starting fresh and nothing would really carry over from D1 to D2. No stats, no gear, no microtransactions, no nothing. And D3 only lasted 3 years. So now I want you to picture a world where from D2 to D3, nothing transfers over again. If you think people were crazy over D1 to D2, wait until you see everyone lose all of their progress going to D3. I know some of y'all would like it. I would like it too. Most wouldn't. Wait until you see people who spent hundreds or thousands of dollars on microtransactions lose all of it. Okay, simple solution, Datto. Simply transfer all of those things over to D3. What's the big deal? If Bungie is going to spend all of that time transferring all of the things that we have right now to Destiny 3, I would have to ask the point of Destiny 3. If Bungie is going to bring over all of your guns, armor, ornaments, exotics, subclasses, destinations, etc. over to Destiny 3, why would they not just keep Destiny 2 rolling instead? Why not? Because we want the number to go to 3? Because we want change for the sake of change? Because we think everything is going to be different and fixed because number go up? Bungie has already shown that they can do meaningful, big changes without having to release an entirely new game, without having to make an entire new engine from scratch. What would be the point of Destiny 3? New story? New destinations? New systems? All the things that we've been getting over the course of the past few years with Destiny 2? Or does this all link back up with the engine talk? Like Destiny 3 would be on a brand new engine, which we all know it won't be, or networking architecture and all this stuff, and that's why people want it. Or do people want it because they hope something will change just for the sake of having change? Because I do. I want things to change after Final Shape, but it's a completely irrational desire. I want things to change. How? I don't know, but they should be different. You hear how stupid I sound? I sound very stupid. Don't get it confused. I would totally be okay with a complete wipe of my character for Destiny 3, should it ever exist. The idea is very enticing to me as someone who has played the game for almost a decade now. The prospect of a fresh start in every sense of the phrase is very appealing, probably to a wider audience as well. But how realistic is it? Probably not very. I think that's everything that I wanted to get off my chest regarding engines and DCV and Destiny 3 and all that. I've just been having the conversation a lot over the past couple of months, and I'm tired of having it. So at least now I could just send people to this video when they ask me when I'm streaming on Twitch. Your complaints on all the issues, all the server problems that have been happening since Lightfall are valid. 100% valid. It's an annoying problem to have as a probably paying customer, and it's not your job to care about the plight of game development as a customer. That it's hard to fix the servers or the stability of the game. Not your problem. The servers are down, the servers are bugging out, this thing's bugged, that thing's bugged. Fix it, Bungie. Fix the game. Do whatever you want to do to voice your frustration about the servers being jank as a customer, as long as you are respectful. Just don't come in here, don't go anywhere saying you know what's best for the game on the development side of things unless you're working at Bungie, maybe another studio who's familiar with the dev process. They don't need your, you guys, you need a new engine takes, okay? They don't need them. Adds nothing. It shows your ignorance. We all know that the server issues and the bugs are a problem. Everyone at Bungie's trying to fix it. We think they're just sitting around doing nothing? Of course they're trying to fix it. Programming's hard. Who would have thought? Save your engine takes. Save your programming takes. Well, this was an easy fix because... Oh, I'm sorry. You work on the engine? You work on the game? Okay. Thank you. It's not as easy as just get a new engine. Just make Destiny 3. just bring back the old content. And people need to stop pretending like these are the most obvious solutions in the world. Because if it was that easy, Bungie would have done it. And if you think it's that easy, got a great website for you linked in the description. Until then, that's all I got. This will be a fun one, huh? Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.